certain different aspects while we are speaking of heavily on sustainability and core sustainability measures that could be implemented on a project. We understand, all of us understand that sustainability is a very large subject, but I want to draw a little attention here on the management part and the delivery part of the projects, and to give a little insight on how in real projects we are helpful, or we are able to guide the process to achieve the results that we are speaking of, and all the sustainability that we are aspiring of at the beginning of the project. So typically a design process for a large project would go on between 9 months to 12 months, so that's almost a year. And the execution part of these projects would easily span over 2 to 2.5 years. So in total, we are speaking of a project life cycle or a timeline of just design and execution being over 3 to 4 years, which is a large span of time. So design managers are the one who actually govern or handhold the project on the design front, and also carry on till the end through the entire of the execution process. So integrating sustainability at the start gets the foundation of the project right. Establishing right things from the very beginning guides all the stakeholders to align themselves to, get their decision making in the right direction, and eventually helps us towards the outcomes towards the end. So a design manager or the design management team generally aligns with the client expectation, works alongside to set the right kind of benchmark, which helps set the correct kind of a brief and the correct kind of expectations for everyone else who will be joining into the project process. Ensuring material specifications aligning with design intent and on-site execution. So like I said, the role of design management, since it goes across the entire span, because we have an understanding of what the set goals are, what the benchmarks are, and why certain decisions were taken on the design front. When we move towards execution, we are able to carry forward the same thought process, we are able to carry forward the same reasoning, and we are able to also control a lot of value engineering that sometimes comes in because of certain market conditions or certain other aspects or external factors. So material selection, like a lot of our other panelists also have laid emphasis on in their presentation, is a very, very critical pre-execution step. So it happens before executions, but it actually is one of the core things that help you and that defines the sustainable results and outcome that you're looking forward to. These all are controlled through a detailed tender process, which somebody needs to govern, handhold, and keep a track of in the right way. So that is also something which becomes a part of the design manager's portfolio or one of their core responsibility. They are experts who are able to navigate the correct kind of design requirements in terms of whether it is aesthetics or any client preferences, and taking them through other challenging aspects like maybe cost dynamics that may be controlling this, or maybe any kind of project constraint that may be calling for a change. So what happens is we are able to control at that time a situation and not let anything diluted over there. So while we address the issues and the challenges, we are able to control the required aesthetics and the required outcomes on performance levels. Then we will talk a little bit about the framework or the processes that need to be set for a project. So we say that the topic is to create a framework and workflow process to achieve the goals efficiently. So what we are saying here is to achieve all of these things that we speak of, or all of these goals that we have set at the start of the project, a robust framework needs to be created for every single project, because every single project is unique. So the design manager creates a framework about a project process in terms of processes, which brings clarity to all the stakeholders on what exactly they are supposed to do, when they are supposed to do, what needs to be brought in, and what particular stage of the project. there is also a technological aspect today that we very widely integrate on any of our projects of this scale, where on the design front there are various tools available to us which enable energy modeling, wind flow, or any other kind of life cycle analysis that help us bring in the wise decisions on the design front. But at the same time, about the managerial aspect of it, there are management tools like BIM or IPD which help us make the entire process of the project efficient. By this, what I mean is, when you see over a large period of time, there are so many stakeholders who are involved in the process of the project. So the project process itself is a thing which also needs to be sustainable, which also needs to be optimized, which also needs to be checked at various points of time and kept in control, which ties back to what our previous panelists were mentioning, that it is about the humans who are involved in it, not just the users, but also the people who are engaged on the side, on the design front. So considering all of these people, their amount of man-hour spent on it, and all the related expenses and also the related footprints that we keep adding on as the projects get longer and longer, there is a need to control, and there is a way to control all of these things and make it more efficient is by management tools like BIM or IPD that we are prevalently using across these kind of large scale complex project, expecting high sustainability outcomes. So these are the three main aspects. One was more to do with the goal setting, one was more to do with aligning of the intent and on-site execution challenges, and the third was to actually create a framework that ties back everyone together into the entire project process. I think these are the three key, very, very key aspects of design management where I feel there is a large scope of contribution to make. And as the project requirements are getting more and more increasingly crucial and challenging, see, the timelines are getting more challenging, the expectations are getting more challenging out of the project, and we are also moving towards a much higher level of expectation on results and outcomes on sustainability front when we are speaking of carbon neutral buildings, or when we are speaking of adaptive reuse or a regenerative design. On these kind of projects and this kind of level of working, there is a definite and essential need to collaborate and to have a multidisciplinary approach at a very, very fine level. It is not at a larger, at a larger superficial level, but on a day-to-day and on a deliverable to deliverable kind of a level, everyone needs to come together and realign and recheck themselves on various touch points of their disciplines. And only when this kind of a very, very close and almost exhaustive process is followed by everyone, we should be able to achieve the results that we are speaking of. We should be able to reverse the climate change that we are talking of, or at least, even if not reverse, we are able to help in a meaningful manner with our contribution of new projects that we are bringing today.